Hi YouTubers, welcome back to another episode of Malcontent Corner, the corner where I hope to enlighten your lives by sharing with you things I've learned in the daily walk of mine. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the devil that was in my car, coming up after the intro. Welcome back, everyone. So as I told you, the devil was in my car. A little bit of a tongue-in-cheek nod there to the B-52s who made a song of the same title. But I'm not kidding here. I really think the devil was in my car there, or at least I would have swore to that. The problem actually started about a year ago in the summertime, and what I would notice is that if I hit a real jarring bump, like going over railroad tracks or something of that nature, the car would chime at me and the door locks would cycle. Now, it didn't happen super consistently, but it did happen. And what happened is summer became fall and the problem went away. So I didn't really think much of it. Problem wasn't there for fall, wasn't there for winter, wasn't there for spring. However, it's summertime and the devil came back in spades. And what I mean by that is this year the problem was getting worse. I was finding the bumps didn't have to be quite as jarring as they were last year. And what would happen is again, the car would chime at me and the door locks would cycle. Now, for those of you who don't know much about these Chrysler convertibles, they have a kind of a neat little creature comfort on them. I'm sure other cars have them too. But basically on these cars, if you get in the car and you start driving, after about a quarter of a block, the doors will automatically lock for you. Kind of a nice little feature. However, it's not so nice when you're driving down the road at say 30, 35 miles an hour and the door locks are cycling and the car's chiming at you. However, the problem was, where is the problem? Is it in the driver's side door, the passenger side door? Is it a wiring problem? Is it a grounding problem? I'm thinking maybe it's a bad ground on the body control module if a ground is needed on that module, which I'm assuming it is, but I don't know. And it's very much hidden underneath the dash. And in trying to troubleshoot this problem, it was really kind of a pain in the butt. And what I mean by that is that if I was driving down the road and just opened the door, nothing would happen. The odometer would switch and it would say door, which let me know that the door was open, but the door locks didn't cycle. There was no chimes. I had my wife one time open the passenger side door, and once again, nothing really weird happened. The odometer switched to door, no chiming, no door locks. So I'm kind of scratching my head. I did park the car, have the car running. I would open the door and work the connector that goes from the door to a body connector on the A-pillar there. Nothing happened. Went to the passenger side, worked the connector there. Nothing happened. So it was really, I was kind of just scratching my head. However, I started paying attention to the problem a little closer. And what I noticed was that if I did hit a bump, was that I would hear a clicking of the relay under the dash, and if I watched, the odometer would flip from miles to door and back to miles again, like that. I mean, it was real quick. Now, I couldn't drive and keep an eye on that and see if the dome light was flashing on or not, but I suspect what was happening was that relay was controlling the dome light. And at this point, I know it's like, okay, something is triggering the car to let me know that a door is open. Now, I don't know why it behaved that way when opening the door while driving didn't produce the same results, but at least I had a little more to work on. So the first thing I decided to look at was the door ajar sensor on the cars, and this is what I found. Okay, everyone, so let's take a look here. On these Chrysler convertibles, your door ajar switch is right here. Now, in looking at this, it goes in just fine. But what I noticed was that there's a center plunger here. There we go, you can see that a little better. Now, if you notice, there's a little bit of a gap in there now, right? Probably a gap of about 1/8 of an inch or so. Well, when I first looked at this center plunger was completely flush with this outer body here. And after adjusting that out, basically I got in there with a screwdriver and pried it out on both sides a little bit. But since adjusting this center plunger on both the driver's side and the passenger side, well, the problem's gone away. So that's what it took to fix. Now let's go back to the garage and I'll share a few final thoughts. There you have it, folks. It was a matter of that door jamb switch. What I found was that over time, that center plunger had apparently creeped in. In my case, over the years, it had crept all the way up to where it was flush with the outer portion of that switch. And while it worked in the winter months, apparently during the summer months, it wasn't making a good enough connection to where it was causing some kind of goofy problems. Anyways, that's what I have for you here on this episode of Malcontent Corner. As always, I appreciate you listening to me talk. I hope you found this video of some use, and I hope to see you back again here in the not too distant future. So until that time, please take care of yourself, tell your loved ones that you love them, and we'll see you back again here later on. All right? Ciao!